Hello, Internet. Hi. Hello, Internet. I am quite loud. I'm going to turn me down real quick. Hello, hi. Welcome. I am DM Dan. We are the Explorers of Elsewhere, and we are live right in your internet box. That's not a euphemism. Hello, gang. How are you all doing?
Alright.
Yeah, alright.
What? What? I worry you're potentially a bit quiet, so... What? What? I worry you're potentially a bit quiet, so... What? What? I worry...
In the wrong Discord chat. Again.
Oh, sorry, say again?
DOE recording.
Can we... I don't know if anyone... Can anyone... Is anyone not audible on stream? It should be fine. Here we recording, yeah. Are you guys coming through? If I... Tell you what, if I can get you four to shout and make some noise.
Where you do
If I tell you what, if I can get you four to shout and make some noise.
Where you do
If I okay, cool. Yeah, gonna clip that. Cool. Okay, so I think you're coming through. I think you can be heard. People in the chat, make sure to let us know if that's not the case. I'm just going to turn up Discord even more. The players are fairly quiet, eh? Okay. Gang, make your gaggle noises.
Gaggly, 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 googly, bally, bully, bap. Bibida, bula, 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 bitty, boo, boo, up, we did up. Pipado.
Beautiful. Okay, so hang on, let me, if I tweak them like this slightly. Gang, if you keep on going, it's not an EOE stream without audio issues. We'll get
Singing a song, we're singing a song. Eating a bounty, singing a song. Yum, yum, yum.
I have a feeling that that's blowing people's eardrums out now, so let me turn that down. Woo! And sorry, Theo, if I could just grab you again.
Hello. I hope my...
Okay.
Talking.
Okay. Yeah, Theo, we might just need to gaffer tape your mic near your mouth.
Hi.
Oh, that worked.
That's nice.
Shout at my...
Just shout.
Yeah.
Just do that for the whole session.
Okay. Fine.
I didn't know Theo's... well, hopefully we'll get some Theo sound back in a moment. Yeah, by all means, chat, let us know if that's not the case. Right. Hi, I'm DM Dan. We are Explorers of Elsewhere. This is live, as you can tell. We have returned to play some Daggerheart. We are ploughing our way through the new 1.4.2 open beta playtest, the Marauders of Windfall. If you've missed the first chunk, which was now 2 sessions, you can catch those on the Explorers of Elsewhere channel, somewhere down below in the Daggerheart playlists. Or if you just feel, crazy, you can just skip the first 2 episodes and just watch us now. Before I go any further, happy Independence Day, everyone. Let's hope things improve tomorrow. Yes.
Just different.
Yes. Let's hope things are different.
Same, but different.
Yes. Right. There's enough. More than enough of that. Who can remind me what happened last time?
We're on a big shippy ship.
Yes. Yes.
Big one. Big one. What's Livy still? Why are you always flying? I was wondering like why Livy was shaking her hands about. She was trying like. No, sorry.
Yes, a big ship. So you, having completed your objective in the Sable Woods, which was to deliver that to deliver the package, the secret package. You delivered it to the Whitefire Arcanist. You discovered that it was in fact a runestone from Capital City's gateway that protects it from magical incursions. So the fact that it was out of juice and that you were having it recharged, it turned out, was a mission of the utmost importance and secrecy and discretion, it would seem. A mission that was entrusted to the ever vigilant Professor Twig. After the ritual, you found out that there were other things to look into. So you boarded the RMS Windfall, one of the kingdom's newest ships of the line, with a new technologically marvelous engine. This was a bit of a prototype. The kingdom's looking to see if we can roll this out across the kingdom. And in exchange for your security detail, or providing security detail for the ship, as they were going to pick up new security in the near future, you have been allowed free pass on board. And to ensure that you didn't have to twiddle your thumbs too much, 2 wyverns very generously attacked the ship. You managed to quadly-handedly fend them off, whilst the crew and the captain managed to fend off the second. And you have been your martial prowess has been praised by the captain of the ship, a certain Commander Augustus Kane. And you have been invited to dinner. There was a bit of downtime before that, so you managed to squeeze in a long rest to kind of process everything that's happened. Twig's having an emotionally shoddy time, but Twig and Goru, you managed to bond over the repairing of armor, and all sorts of cute and wonderful things happened. I think that's about it. So before we kick off, we rejoin you. Well, I say before we kick off, we rejoin you on the ship. And where do we find the 4 of you? Sort of like in your respective quarters, or are you kind of up on deck, or are you whereabouts on the ship are you? And just to make it a bit more atmospheric, let's have some music.
Should we just have a short rest?
A short rest, correct.
Okay. Good
Yes.
to know.
So, yeah, hopefully you're not going to get drowned out by Foundry. Yeah, whereabouts on the ship do we find you? Let me just move you across.
Hey.
Bam.
Are we all congregating together before we go to the captain's quarters? Because that's where we got invited to last time.
Yeah, I mean, this you won't have like particularly long. It's already kind of getting a bit late. Like the sun is certainly creeping down towards the horizon as sunset beckons. So you know that very soon it will be dinner time.
Dinner time.
And in fact, you can smell even with sort of like the clouds kind of gently. Well, not so gently, to be fair, because the RMS Windfall moves at quite a pace. So despite the clouds kind of rolling past you, with seemingly some urgency. You can smell the distinctive smells of sort of like cooked, smoked meats and like, you know, long life vegetables being put together by the crew's cook, just kind of wafting up through the floorboards.
We notice the crew member, or the crew, having a bit more of a better impression of our characters after that battle.
You do indeed, yes. So having like where you are on the prow of the ship, or where you were, I should say, on the prow of the ship, there are telltale signs of the recent wyvern attack. And for anyone that kind of goes to explore the observation deck towards the back of the ship, notices that there are similar, if not kind of more, like scratches to the woodwork, cracked timbers, you know, blood stains on the like from claw swipes. You notice, but yeah, since you managed to actually kind of defeat and kill your wyvern, but the crew on the other end of the ship managed to just drive theirs off. But yeah, the crew seem impressed. You see them kind of giving you not bad Obama nods as you sort of like pass them, as they, and you know, the captain has congratulated you and quite vocally invited you to dinner, which seems to have carried a fair degree of weight with the crew.
Well, I guess if it's nearing food time, I guess from our various locations. I guess if it's nearing sort of talking, repairing, I guess we would all start convening towards the mess hall, repairing deck, whatever it's called.
Sorry, I had a moment there. Reconvene to
The
Mess hall.
the mess hall.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So let me switch to the map for the players. Something I think I woefully forgot to mention. So I did a little scroll out of this this wonderful map of the airship, courtesy of channel favourite Birdie Maps. Thank you, Birdie, for some amazing stuff. And if you like what he's doing, make sure to check out his Patreon, Birdie Maps. Patreon.com/Birdie Maps, for just some amazing stuff that comes out every month at a extremely reasonable price. Yeah, thank you very much. So, yes, we find you back on the deck, but if you wanted to head to towards this door over here, that will take you down to will take you inside. Let me scroll to you. So as you go, for those of you that go through the door, you've had some time to explore already, but there's a staircase immediately in front of you, doors either side that lead to the captain's quarters. Heading down that staircase brings you to the first the first sub level of the ship, where you can see that there are a number of sort of like crewmates and the other passengers on the ship, just kind of sat around. Some of them seem to be just kind of catching their breath after the wyvern attack. You can still, actually some time would have passed. So these passengers are sat at the tables, kind of tucking into kind of like relatively rudimentary but hearty looking meals. But that, there's arguably nothing stopping you from tucking in yourselves, but you know that you've got a meal with the captain soon. And presumably that's a little bit later. But further down the corridors are your rooms. Almost the VIP suites, if you will, where you have been figuring out whether you're topping and tailing or not. So,
let's be honest.
While Greg investigates the bathroom,
Oh, where's my room?
and then the latrine.
That's not my room.
This is your room.
Yes. Yes. So, Ruby calls down the hole from you that your room is one door further down, like back the way you came.
I'm bloody locked in. Can't get out. There it is. Bloody hell. Told you ain't got air legs.
Carnage.
Got sea legs.
You give them a map and they go bonkers. So tell you what.
It's not so much the map; it's the doors.
It's the doors.
Like last map didn't have doors. We can get lost. We can look ourselves in.
So Twig, as I move you over here, you see the Scooby-Doo affair of running between doors. You know, like your companions just kind of going in and out, coming out doorways that you didn't see them go in of. But it seems like a sense of normality has returned to the ship. Even though it was only a few hours ago, it's almost as if the Wyvern attack, the memory of the Wyvern attack has been forgotten. But how are you feeling? Because you had a particularly close dice with death when it came to the Wyvern.
It's okay. Feel like it's very sort of starting to get used to with the danger. Like it's been a few things now. So are you struggling to hear me? I promise I am talking as high as I can. My voice is also breaking, so having a fun time. But yes, he's trying really hard to make sure that stable, he's calm, he's not panicking, and he's just glad that everyone seems settled. He's definitely glad everyone seems okay.
Okay. I just wonder if...
Seems settled. Definitely glad everyone seems okay.
Okay. I just want to quickly take a moment.
Seems settled.
If I could get everyone else to make some noise for me.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
But make some noise for me.
Nathan's eating snackies. Hello. Hello. He's got Cheetos.
Hello.
But make some noise for me.
Nathan's eating snackies. Hello. He's got Cheetos.
But make some noise for me.
Nathan's eating snackies. Hello.
Okay, right. Right, it's horrendous listening to a loop of yourself talking. Right, I think we've got our audio balanced. Sophia, you should now be audible to the whole wide world.
Okay, is this any better? Are
Yes.
we good? Are we not good? Thank you. Okay. Yes, Twig is feeling like a bit calmer now. Any better? Was quite
Yes.
scary. Are we dealing with the Wyvern? But, he's feeling a lot more confident now. Like, his friends battle things. And even though his magic is still a bit erratic and situations are different, feeling like, despite this, they are getting through it. So realistically, logically, they are doing okay. If they were failing, if people were dying, he'd be a bit not so calm. But everyone is alive.
Sure.
It's fine. That's how he's telling himself that it's okay.
Sure. So like relying on a trust in the process kind of mindset.
Trust in the process. Everyone else seems to be chill. He should also be chill.
Amazing. Okay, so in which case, as you're feeling, you yourself are feeling a bit more kind of calm and collected. yeah, is there anything that you lot want to do, like very, very short term, very, very quick before you're called to dinner? Like any
Where are you,
conversations you
Twig?
want to have?
Are you downstairs? Are you with us?
I am kind of like hovering nearby. I'm like watching you guys deal with it. I'm just
Like-
I'm just down between the tables.
You've seen Greg like running room to room in search of something, and he comes out, and he's like, "Right, oh no, I'm going Bristolian." Exactly what he says.
Hey.
You slag. Comes up to Twig and and he's found like a shirt from somebody else to see if he wants to change his clothes after he got covered in blood. And he's like, "Oh, I know how to get out bloodstains. It's fine. Just give me that. Give me those. Change into this. It's about your size, isn't it? What about, it's just like a massive shirt."
That's very kind of you. I should be able to. And like he thinks about the fact that he could just cast. That's very kind of you, and clean his clothes. But Greg is being so nice, doesn't want to upset him, so he's like, "Yeah, sure, I'll get changed. Yeah, this is lovely. Thank you." He's like, so yeah, so he opts to change into, I assume, someone's very dirty shirt. Probably.
Well, better than blood, innit? The best thing to get out blood. He just spits. Just
Are you giving it a bit of that hot tour?
Yeah, I'm going the fuck tour. And I'm fuck touring. Just
Okay.
Just take
shall we
shirt.
do it in the guild, innit? Just wash it. Or get it clean. That's actually true. The best way to get our blood is spit. The enzymes.
Oh, what, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I like that. Oh, no. Oh,
Facts. Facts.
no. Okay, well, so as that's happening, Ruby, Goru, are you doing any quick kind of natters before you head on? Oh, you're muted, Nate.
Sorry about that. I keep on like sneezing and sniffling, and I don't want to do it on mic, so I do apologize. Ruby is gonna go up to Goru, and she's gonna say, gonna go up to Goru. You are quite all right with sleeping on the floor, aren't you? I mean, she's gonna say, I'm not like gonna go up to Goru. You are quite all right with sleeping on the floor. Be on the bed. It's big enough.
Goral chuckles a moment. Queen, you, me, and then look around. The planks of wood. Queen, you. I'm worried I will break the bed. So, I'm used to sleeping in my shell. As he's tapping his big, hulking, sort of slightly spiky surface shell, covered in dabs of moss.
Ruby's gonna nod and go, "Well, I mean, okay, if that's what you want, I'm not gonna."
Appreciate it. Truly.
She's also gonna tap your shell and go, "Yes, it's pretty nice."
Oh, I've gained some new moss since our
Fashionable.
travels.
Like it.
If you do happen to have any more of those unique mushrooms, just like the one on my shell that you've given me before, do pass them my way. I'm quite fond of them.
Well, I'll definitely keep an eye out. It's not really the environment up here for those types of mushrooms, but I'll definitely keep an eye out.
Well, It's all magic, isn't it? Everything around in the sky, this giant ship. Magic. I'm sure it will be fine. As Goru's massive fingers just gently tap you on the shoulder in appreciation. Shall we find the others and make our way?
Oh, yes, I am very, very hungry.
Me too. As he stumbles out, crawling through the door, archway of the door.
In which case, you very quickly find you you walk into like the next room to find Twig and Greg, and like Twig's back is to you, and you can see on the other side of Twig is Greg, currently on his knees. And there's like frantic movement, and you hear Greg presumably going, I've nearly got it out.
Oh,
Nearly there.
Close the door.
Yeah.
Let the door.
And I look at Ruby, just really like, sort of a bit of turquoise blushing. Are they your thing?
She just shrugs.
I don't judge, but I did not expect to catch them in the action.
All I'm just saying is that they better hurry up because we're going to have dinner soon.
Try be quick in there.
So
Greg just bursts out, just smoking a cigarette.
So with that in mind, we smash cut to early evening arrives, and banners, awards, and a large painting of the battle fill the walls of the commander's quarters. At the back stands a sturdy desk beneath a stained glass window that catches the last glow of twilight. Magically lit sconces cast the room in warm tones. At the centre of the room is a heavy oak table 12 feet long with matching carved seats. The other passengers are already seated in the common mess hall, but you have a private audience with Commander Kane and his officers over fine liquors. You have a private audience with Commander Kane and his officers over fine liquors. So, yes, between the four of you, just to very quickly re-highlight. Again, I'm not entirely sure. I displayed this, but we have the studious Commander Kane, the ever loyal and traditional commander. We have sat to his... Oh, I've actually done it. Sat to his right. Sat to his right is the imposing figure of his lieutenant commander, his first mate, Kales, the orc. And to his left is Melandra Silva, who, Twig, you know from your days back in the capital city. An elf with like thick, curly black hair, who just kind of always looks like she's kind of busy. Like she's always thinking about 3 problems at all times. But yeah, the 3 of them sit at that one end of the table. Obviously, the Captain Kane at the end with his ship mage. and his first mate flanking him, and you find yourselves either side of the table, down from him. And so yeah, you know the space you're in is quite spacious. There's a very kind of dignified feel to the meal. You can hear the sounds and clatterings of the ship's cook, kind of moving around at the far end, like at the back of the ship basically, and preparing your meals and then serving up to you on kind of large platters. But yeah, the smell of the rich food mixes with this very fine sherry that is laid out in the goblets in front of you. I must say, the captain starts, I had my reservations about letting you on this ship without payment, but it would seem that you have truly paid your weight in gold with defending those wyverns, defending against that wyvern, and I applaud and thank you.
Was any one of your other crew members hurt during the assault?
A few of the crewmates took some light injuries. One, scratches. One was bitten on the leg. But otherwise, they'll walk it off. I pride the crew of the Windfall for their swift recoveries.
It is good to hear that there wasn't any real casualties among your crew. We are just glad to do our bit and keep the people on this ship in good spirit. As he sort of takes a handful of food and sort of...
So you get like wyverns a lot, like is this a regular occurrence? Is this like a regular thing with air travel? Seems a bit dangerous, doesn't it?
The captain goes to speak, but then sort of like catches himself and then like gestures a hand to his first mate. And she looks to you and... There are suspicions that any time you set foot on some sort of naval or aerial transport, you are inevitably attacked by some sort of native predator of the mode of travel. But I can assure you that attacks are relatively far and few between. It's the world is not replete with wyverns, so wyvern attacks are fortunately quite infrequent. Today is a day of good and bad luck. We were unfortunate to have drawn the attentions of not one but two, a mated pair, I would have assumed.
Not anymore.
The orc grins and like wiggles her eyebrows at you. But we were fortunate to have persons of your considerable strength aboard.
Not the first time I've said I've got considerable strength. It's quite often I get told I've got considerable strength. All time, actually.
Melandra picks up after you, and like turns to you, Twig. I must say, this is a far cry from what I remember your duties that you were participating in back in Capital City. Have you, she says, like kind of looking at the four of you, have you been adventuring for long?
Not necessarily. Running an errand. really wonderful crew. Which is the team you have here. They all have their own exploits, their own skills and talents. I'm very proud to have them being in my
She nods, and like turning to you each in turn, her gaze stops on you, Ruby. I from what I saw, you are quite well versed with air sorcery. Have you never considered becoming an airship mage yourself?
She sort of smiles and kind of goes like, well, as much as travel is always been my thing, I'm much more suited on the ground, as you can see. Air travel is not really, as much as I am a sorcerer of the air elements. I believe that all of the elements have to work in harmony. So solely staying in one or the other doesn't quite suit me.
She nods. Like she nods and then is sort of like, the two of you are both shocked as the orc, there's the sound of a loud clap as the orc kind of claps a hand on your left shoulder, Goru. I didn't really see much of what you were doing, but from the sounds of it, you really showed that wyvern what for. How much is that sword that you wield? It must be enormously heavy.
Well, I have had some years to build up my strength to lift that sword. And I give him a sort of jovial pat on the back as well, in jest.
Goru, what about Kales's behaviour or body language tells you that she would be a worthy foe?
Of Kales's body language.
So the half orc next to you.
It's from the body language. I think obviously you can see that the orc's got natural hard worked. There's a difference between sort of muscles that you've built for show and muscles that have been gained through sheer labor of work. But it's not just the strength, but you can definitely see the athletic, like the slight litheness of the body that does, like, there's for someone who does know combat or it knows to take many punches, as Goru does, Goru with some level of insight can gauge that this foe knows how to move around a battlefield like a swashbuckler would do.
Yeah. Okay.
Using that strength to use precise cuts on their foes.
Interesting. But yeah, the orc, having clapped like her back on the shoulder. Yeah, she certainly seems like what you glance across to the commander, you notice that these two are both strong, just in sort of like different ways. One's strong of arm, one is strong of will, because there's a certain kind of aura that Commander Kane gives off. And the captain looks to you, Greg. Well, he's looking to you. I can only assume that you're just sat there with a cigarette kind of hanging out your mouth.
I'm both smoking and eating at the same time.
Sure.
I don't think Greg has any taste buds left. I don't think he just does nothing.
Okay, well, I mean, in which case you would 100% notice that Commander Kane is watching you. Before
What, not smoking here or something?
The commander kind of dismisses the notion, and well, I was more curious to know how you're finding working with a team.
What, do I not look like a team player?
You strike me as someone who values your independence.
Yeah, well, I value the lion's share. That's what you mean. But no, I've worked with gangs, syndicate, friend. I've worked with people all my life.
He nods. Trustworthy people, one assumes.
As trustworthy as me. We're never going to trust one another. We all, I trust them that they'll probably stab me in the back just as much as they trust that I'd stab them in the back. That's like the honour amongst thieves, isn't it? You just, whatever.
Or he tries to interject with the captain. If I may, Captain, I trust Greg. Though Greg might give off a certain demeanor to some, I trust Greg to do what needs to be done.
Nods and grabs a ham hock with his claw. Just drags it towards him on the table.
Are you sure you're not using your tongue?
Yeah. No, save that for damage only.
Okay, right, I see. Well, as sort of like Goru steps in to diffuse ? Like that line of inquiry. Greg, what in this moment? What is it about the captain that reminds you of a crime boss you used to know?
His. Yeah, I think it's the. He feels like he gets what he wants, and he will find a way to get what he wants. Not necessarily. Like, I think it's like when you get those like high up kingpins that look clean cut, couldn't get an ounce on them, will never go to jail, but feel like they probably have their hands in many pies. And I think Greg doesn't really like that, because he likes an honest crook in which you're honest about being a crook. And I feel like he's a bit like, I think this guy would stab a man in the back, but not admit to stabbing a man in the back.
Sure. In which case, yeah, as you kind of, as you reason that kind of in your mind, like the main course arrives and you all begin kind of tucking in, and like there's that initial moments of silence as everyone starts tucking into just a good meal. When you have dinner with friends and then like you're all just ploughing in and it just tastes really quiet, and there's that quiet that kind of falls over the table. But as you, Greg, the crook you can trust to be a crook, yes, absolutely, he does what it says on the tin. But like, so after you have your first few mouthfuls and some of your food starts disappearing, you notice it, even amongst the four of you and the three like senior members of the crew, everyone at the dinner table is paying close attention, and hopefully is on their best behaviour. You could almost hear a fork. You could hear a fork drop in these moments. But there's still that sort of like that fence of order that kind of surrounds it. But as you kind of really start digging in, have any of you four got questions for the captain and their crew?
Like nobody's allowed in the engine room, he says. What's down there?
I feel like Twig just stinks a little bit.
Yeah, he's got his legs up on the table, just having a smoke. What's up with that? It's a bit weird, isn't it? And so I look between all of them.
The captain fixes you with a very stern stare. And Melandra, like chokes as she, like, from the forthrightness of your statement. And, like, she kind of pats herself on the chest a few moments just to clear her choking.
Yeah, it's a bit spicy, those potatoes, isn't it?
We would prefer that the engine room is currently off bounds to all but the crew of the ship.
Well, we're the crew now, aren't we?
Well, we would still consider you passengers in that capacity. The silver engine that powers this ship is extremely delicate, and we're currently going through a series of stress tests. We don't want to invalidate or jeopardize the data collection. And she looks to you, Twig. You understand where I'm coming from, don't you?
Of course, all magic be like tested and figured out. I understand. It's just, but I also understand what my colleague is saying. As part of the crew, we need to go in to defend it. We should be allowed some, sway. Maybe some information would be useful, at least, if we're not allowed to enter the room, just so we know what we're dealing with if there is an issue. Clarity is always, and I think Twig, like, quite desperately tries to figure out, like, how best to approach this. He looks at Commander Kane very quietly, but kind of as intelligently as possible, says something like, "Do not send a soldier into battle without the details. We are your soldiers while we're on the ship. The more details you can give us, the better soldiers we can be for you."
You say this to Commander Kane, and presumably because you're being quite heartfelt with this, so I'm guessing you're doing your best to maintain eye contact. It's withering. The other three of you, yeah, he's just like his pupils narrow to dagger points, and the other three of you notice that he's kind of leaning back on one elbow on the arm of his chair, and with his other arm he's begun turning, like spinning his sherry glass round by the stem, and like the longer Twig talks and like reasons, the faster the sherry glass turns, and to a point where he grips the stem of the glass with two hands, and there's a snap, and the top of the sherry glass tumbles and spills this fine sherry across the table. And Kalis, the first mate, like looks, like snaps to attention. Melandra, like jumps at the sound of the breaking glass. But Commander Kane is still staring directly at you, as if nothing had happened. The ship mage said that it was off bounds, so it is off bounds. And I am going to spend a fear, because it would seem that the captain does not care for your tone, and I need all 4 of you to mark a stress.
This guy's no fun at all, is he?
So yeah, he publicly rebukes you.
Work, it didn't.
Yeah,
all right, no need to get your knickers in a twist, Jesus.
You collectively now have disadvantage on any presence rolls for the rest of the scene, because the manner of the captain has suddenly soured.
I was only joshing you, mate. I just want to know if it was made of silver or not.
Is there a way to gauge why he's reacted that way, considering the heartfelt, genuine plea of Twig doesn't warrant such a strange reaction such as that? Is there a way to read him to say, is he purposely hiding something that might be of danger to us, or?
Roll me a presence check. So with disadvantage, because this man's now got this ironclad like poker face. He looks like a drill sergeant right now, just like clenching on his back teeth, the flared nostrils. Yeah, so presence with disadvantage.
Okay, let me just roll my and then I'll roll my d6. Oh no, I rolled a 5. So together that would have been 12 plus 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That would have been 20. So 15 with hope.
Okay, so you gain a hope
with the disadvantage.
But like Goru, I imagine Goru's a bit of a sedimentary. What word am I trying to? You're a very stoic individual. So, like, arguably, you just staring at someone is less noticeable than, say, like Twig or Ruby or Greg staring at someone.
Yeah, these little turtle eyes just staring.
And you can't quite read him. There's just... It's not... He doesn't particularly notice you. You roll with hope. But you just can't quite get the measure of this man. What you do get is very much a case of, he said it's this, so therefore it is this. Like, it is authoritarian to a T.
Before anything gets a bit worse, Goru will try and desensitize the situation a little bit, and so, we mean no offense, Captain. Do not mistake us for rudeness. We just want to make sure that we can be of best use for you and your crew. No offense, of course.
Sorry, I'm just going to quickly skip back in, beg your pardon. Is your instinct any higher?
No.
Okay, fine. It was an instinct roll I should have asked for.
Oh, sorry. I did.
Not presence.
I was thinking that, and I was like, but the presence actually works in my favor.
Yeah. Okay, so instinct. Yeah. So yeah, you can't quite read him. Like, as you kind of offer this apology, the captain just nods, and like quietly thanks the chef as the chef kind of comes along, mops up, like dabs at the spilt sherry with the dish rag, and then gives the captain a new glass. But yeah, the captain just kind of sinks back into his chair, as I say, just kind of like leaning back on one elbow, just watching you. But he appears to be like watching you now. Anyone else want to break this tension? Ruby?
I think Ruby's going to try and, sort of de-escalate sort of like the tension in the room. She's going to grab a couple of napkins and she's going to try and do some like, just do some sort of like
table
minor
magic.
illusion. Just table magic, basically.
Just when you put a knife behind it.
Yeah. Yeah, but fantasy-like, yeah, she's going to do some table magic with sort of like the napkins and maybe some lettuce that's sort of around. I want to use my experience of cool party tricks.
Tailor-made for this exact scenario.
to make it look really cool.
Yep. Tell you what, you tell me what like stat you're using.
I guess it would be
Performance in this one?
There's no performance thing. I guess it would
Yeah, there
be...
is presence. It's performance.
Presence is performance.
Presence,
Cool.
okay.
We'll use presence then.
Use presence with disadvantage because there's a sour puss at the end of the table.
Okay. So that is like just what Dan did. Just roll the d6 and then take that off.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Oh.
Oh.
Oh!
I get a +1 on that for my cool party trick as well.
Sure.
So that would be a 4 with fear.
Okay, a 4 with fear. Well, I'm gonna put one up in there. If a magic trick could be personified as a wet fart in an elevator.
I feel like in a fantasy land where magic is real and magic is everywhere, it would be the spoon behind the napkin. I turn one of the napkins into a chicken that you can do, where you roll it up and it becomes like a boiled chicken. I turn it into a bra. And I go,
It's Greg clapping. Yay! I love it when she does that one. That's brilliant.
Twig, you notice Melandra just like covering her face with her hand.
This is too much. It's like real life.
But she does like having seen this very good magical performance. She claps for you. Very good, Ruby. She says. She looks to you. Well, sorry. You notice her looking at the first mate, like Kaless, and like the elf is kind of like raising her eyebrows in an inquisitive kind of way. And like you see the half orc like discreetly, like shaking her head, before the elf turns to look to you, Ruby, and you, Twig. I was wondering, given that the two of you are magically proficient, if you might, in fact, be able to, well, magically proficient, and then she pauses and glances at you for a second, Ruby.
Still holding the bra.
But I was wondering if I might ask an opinion, ask you a question. And she turns around, she ruffles through like the knapsack that she's got with her, and she produces what looks like a small portable atlas of sorts, but it's like gold banded, made of kind of a glassy like material. And the two of you, tell you what, the two of you roll me some sort of like arcane knowledge check.
Yeah, I guess that would be knowledge.
Knowledge, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be knowledge.
Would you still want us to roll disadvantage on it?
No,
So that's just presence.
I have a 6.
That
Actually,
is a 13 for me in hope.
that's a 6 in hope and a 6 in fear. 2. Oh no, 6. Oh, well, hang on. There's 2 top of winning. So if hope of 4, 6 fear. 2.
Say that again for you.
If I've got a +2 knowledge, does that
Yeah.
go on top of winning? So
If you've got, yeah.
it'll be an 8 in fear then.
Okay. And sorry, what was yours, Nate? Total?
If we're adding them all together, it'll be a 13 with hope.
13 with hope. Okay. So, both of you would recognise the apparatus she's holding as an astrolabe, which is effectively it's a magical artifact that when you activate it, creates a illusionary map. So you would know that like astrologers and like people who study cosmic movements will use these a lot to create like a map of sort of like constellations of the night sky that you can, you know, it physically kind of broadcasts it out so you can kind of move around it. But yeah, so she's holding this in her hand, and we found this, and it's quite important to our current mission. But if the gods will it, I cannot for the life of me figure out how to activate it. Perhaps you might have a go?
Yeah, we're more than happy enough to take a look.
Okay. In which case, yeah, if either of you want to try, please roll me a finesse or knowledge check.
Also remember, if you want to aid the other person, you can always spend a hope to give the person a d6 on that roll.
I would, but I have no hope. Oh, I do have one. I just gained one.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yay.
Yeah, you got
Just
one
throwing
hope.
that mechanic out there.
I also have hope.
Yeah. So Twig's got 3, Ruby's got 1. Who, if either of you wants to help the other?
If I help, then there's not so much damage because you're still.
Sure.
So
What? Sorry, I'm struggling to hear Theo.
sorry, I'm literally shouting at my laptop. I don't know how much. So I get +2 in knowledge. So I don't know what yours is at all.
My knowledge is a +1, so if I help you, then you can still use that +2 in knowledge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do that then, and then I will thank you another time.
Okay. So Ruby goes
Thank
down
me
to
later.
0 hope. So yeah, Twig, if you roll me, yeah, knowledge or finesse, well, knowledge, with a
Knowledge.
+d6. So 6,
God.
6 with hope plus
1d6.
Also, if you've got any experiences you want to use as well.
I mean, I do have, I have know my stuff, just basically abnormal arcane, that's +1.
Okay, yeah,
Was
we
it
can have that.
Could
So-
I be cheeky as well and add my +1 in map making? In my experience?
Well, what I will say is, at this point, like, Twig, you're you're looking it over. You do gain a hope. You're looking it over, but you can't make heads or tails of it. The astrolabe itself is quite detailed, quite delicate. But you can't, like, you don't see any sort of like switches, you don't see any kind of activation runes or anything like that, and you're just kind of turning it over in your hand, and you've got like Ruby going, oh, what about this? Oh, what about this? And you're, in this moment, you're as stumped as Melandra currently looks. Ruby, if you want to have a go, so you can roll and then switch, so Twig is helping.
Let's have a roll. Doo-ba-doo. Not any better. That's a 5, 7, 8 with hope.
Plus D6.
Plus a D6, yeah, sure. A 1.
Okay. In which case, yeah. If you weren't told it was a magical artifact of some sort, you would both assume that it was just some, like, mantelpiece ornament. Because it looks very beautiful. But yeah, but I would argue, between the two of you, so Ruby, you get a hope. I mean, there's a part of you that wonders if it even works anymore. But yeah, Melandra's shoulders like sink a little bit. Never mind. It was worth a try, she says.
Well, I can have a look.
She looks to you and oh no, I'm sure it's fine, she says, and just puts it back in the knapsack.
I make all my own hands. I'm pretty, I'm pretty handy. Handy.
She goes to put it in the knapsack, and then she like sighs a little bit, and like looks to the captain. He's still stony faced, looking at you all, and she, okay, here you go, and then she offers it to you. So I'm assuming you want to make a finesse check.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
So do you put on your magic artifacts activating hand?
Wait a minute, love.
Is it a hand with the index finger extended?
It's just got like a little Phillips screwdriver on the end. Let's have a look at this then. What? Yeah, looks what it looks like. Looks like I don't know what it looks like, love. But there we go. Have a little look.
Okay, so 21 with fear. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Twig and Ruby, between the two of you, I can only assume there's a it's Greg, you turn it over and you boop, like you press this little indentation.
Have you tried this button?
Or perhaps it's just a little twist of the base and
Yeah.
Is it?
Say again, sorry?
It's like it's the Treasure Planet map in the film where there's with it. Oh.
So, yeah, you activate, like, you do something, and like you're so nonchalant about playing with this artifact that you roll with fear, so you don't actually know what you did to activate it. So there's a moment of shock as suddenly this golden translucent map like explodes out of the astrolabe. And it takes you a moment to then be able to course correct and put on this face of like, I meant to do that.
Yeah, just like slightly cross-eyed as it's like blinded me in the face.
Yes. And like as you turn and twist this astrolabe, like the map shifts around slightly. And like you see the captain's eyes suddenly kind of open wide and he like in shock. And then the map fizzes and goes out and disappears. Well, we know it works, says the orc first mate. But between the four of you, I'll let you hash this out. What landmark on that map stood out to you to give you an idea of what the map was of? Like where it was of? What defining landmark was it at the centre of the map? Like the X that marked the spot for all intents and purposes.
Ooh. Okay. So we can just create a place.
Absolutely.
But just remind me, dear, where was our destination originally?
So you are heading. You lot are heading to. Well, sorry. The ship is heading to the Kinakozan Jags, which is a very mountainous kind of area to pick up new recruits. But like where they're going after that, they didn't specify.
I was just going to spin off of that mountainous area and suggest to the group, how about something that's like maybe like an old dwarvish stronghold that juts off the side of a mountain that's well deep within the mountains, something that the airship can still navigate towards. Sure. But it's just this jutting, like it's a forgotten fortress, if you're saying, of dwarvish maybe.
Are we in favour?
It's cool.
Okay. Make it happen, Matt Mercer. Make it happen. Dwarven Fortress. Let's go.
That's what we want.
Okay, so yeah, you notice the telltale signs, presumably, of these gargantuan, like, mountain face carved dwarven statues. Very kind of Lord of the Rings styly, just hewn from the side of the mountain, flanking this kind of dwarven hold somewhere near the Kinakozan Jags. So presumably after they pick up their new security detail, presumably that's where they're heading next. It's not somewhere that like you would be getting off at the Jags, but yeah, it makes you ponder why they're heading there. But yeah, as they there's a bit of a stunned silence in the room after the orc. Well, it's working then, she says. When the captain seemingly kind of mellows for a moment and, well, I think that's thank you for your help. I think that's enough excitement for one evening, don't you all? He says, turning to look to you all, and then turns to Melandra and, we'll speak in my quarters. I'll give you 10 minutes, he says. And with that, the captain sort of like mops the corner of his mouth with his napkin and throws the napkin on the table, and then stands to leave. and as the four of you and the first mate and the ship mage kind of sit there looking a bit stunned at his sudden exit, there is the captain who's like halfway to the door already. There's a massive crunch on the ship, and the ship lurches to one side, and the captain staggers a few steps and has to put his hand out to catch himself on the wall. And like, unfortunately for you two, Goru and Twig, like all what was on the table shifts over to your side, and some of it clatters down onto your laps. But
Twig, you can't catch a break.
You can never have a clean shirt, Twig. Never.
Clean shirt.
and
Sharing
like before you've kind of righted yourself, the half orc has like surged to her feet, and as she does, that's paired with a sudden blaring of a magical alarm, boom, boom, through the ship, and you hear the sounds of like footsteps running in all directions, like overhead on the other side of the door. The door swings open ever so like suddenly, and one of the crewmates who's unexpectedly face to face with the captain. Pirates, Captain! It's pirates! He shouts. The captain snarls, and turns to the four of you, and with this look of grim determination on his face. Let's grab a quick break. Cool. So, we are going to go on break. It's going to be about... Do you reckon we could do 12 minutes back at 9:30?
12 minutes.
12 whole minutes. Beautiful. Okay, so... in which case, yeah, we will be back in 12 minutes, and we will find out what happens after. Oh, that was a beautiful ending, wasn't it? Right. See you all in a bit.
We'll find out what happens next, I guess, maybe.
I'm a professional. Bye. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, world. Hi. We are just waiting for Twig's kettle to boil.
Yeah, Theo, you are there. I think something's just happening with the camera. We can see you, but YouTube can't see you. So I don't think it's you. I think it's...
Hang on.
Well, for a second, I thought I'd done something wrong on my end. I was like, not now my video, my microphone wasn't working.
Here, we can't see you.
Yeah, it's Dan's fault. Bloody Dan.
You're sounding clearer there.
Now Dan's
Dan's
gone.
left.
Yeah.
It's like, screw you guys.
The DM has shuffled off this mortal coil.
Right, I'm running the game now. So we beat up the pirates and it's really good.
Yeah.
It looks super cool. How do we all get booze and babes?
I want pirate babes.
Booze and pirate babes. Oh no, he's back.
Oh no! Okay, so we did some audio tweaking. So I'm afraid we're gonna do.
Yay.
Okay, so
Woo!
So I think if one of you four could actually, I'm just this is as professional as it is. I'm gonna watch my own stream.
Well, I'm watching at the moment.
Okay,
So...
if everyone can make some noise and then stop, and then they can listen to hear how loud it is. And stop.
That's pretty good.
Cool. Let's go, Reggie. Okay, so tension, drama, battle music. So we rejoin the four of you. You are currently in the captain's private mess hall on the RMS Windfall, one of the kingdom's greatest, newest ships of the line. Having fended off a wyvern attack and been asked to dinner by the captain, having had what was arguably one of the most awkward dinner interactions in TTRPG history, we find you on a ship that has just been truly rocked by some sort of large concussive some large physical hit from something. As the ship lurches, alarms are blaring through the ship's interior. There's frantic footsteps above you, around you, below you, and cries from one crewmate to a confused-looking captain. "Pirates, sir! Pirates!" So, with all of that, like, before you even really kind of get a chance to acknowledge what's happening, like, Commander Kane spins on the spot, looks at his first mate, Lieutenant Commander Kaless, and the two of them disappear, like, they, with the ship rocking as it is, their kind of sea legs, quote unquote, just allow them to disappear straight up the staircase, along with a number of the other crew. The elf air mage, Melindra, she looks a bit kind of confused and concerned, but she looks to the four of you and "Help!" she says, slightly slightly panicked. But yeah, what are the four of you doing? Are you heading on up?
I guess we all make our way up.
Okay. I will go ahead and move you all.
Making their way up, Greg's just like trying to like push on like Goru, just like, yeah, but this would be a great time to get to that engine room, wouldn't it? While everyone's busy.
As you emerge up onto the deck of the ship, hang on, let me click this button. And we should get some torch lights. Yeah.
Dog.
Who is dog?
Wait, where does it get dark?
Let's make it slightly less dark.
Can't see.
Right, there we go. Right, you can just about see now. So, as you emerge up onto the deck, you emerge to a chaotic scene. The Windfall is attempting to evade a smaller airship, a nimble schooner with blood-red sails. Quick knowledge check. I won't be giving out hope or fear, but a quick knowledge check from the four of you. Real quick.
I am so gonna know this. Knowledge -1.
Gonna copy that.
I got a 14.
Okay, bear with me
With
two
yeah.
secs. Right. Okay, kill that, and then boop, and then boop. There we go. Okay, so sorry, everyone shout your scores again.
19.
14. Oh,
So 19 for Greg, 14 for Theo, 20 for Ruby, currently in the lead. Goru?
14.
14. Okay, so Ruby, despite the fact that you've not ever really spent that much time on or around airships, you see these blood red sails and you immediately recognize that these sails belong to the ship, the Crimson Cloud. You've heard stories of these sky pirates in the past. And it appears that the Crimson Cloud is currently attacking the Windfall. 3 grappling hooks sail over and latch themselves onto the Windfall's rails and mast. And the pirate ship is pulled in and rams its steel prow into the Navy ship, rocking the Windfall a second time. As the ropes that are mooring it in tighten, seemingly almost like a reverse fishing line, pirates pour off the schooner and onto the deck of the ship, ready to fight. Commander Kane is ahead of you, and he shouts to his crew, "Fend them off! Take cover! Do not let them take the ship!" He shouts and bellows. So, for the 4 of you, there are a number of Crimson Pirates already on the ship, currently duking it out with the crewmates. We're going to start with you lot at top of turn. So, who is the first to act?
I'm a close combatant, so I can go first if people don't wish to rush in.
Go for it.
Did the captain person of the pirates just disappear?
Don't know what you're talking about, Dan.
Okay, so obviously I'm gonna go to the first batch of people.
Mm-hmm.
So can I just go up to any of them?
Pretty much, yeah.
The guy with the blue outside.
Yeah.
He's one of
Yes.
us.
So blue rings on the tokens are Windfall crew.
Okay. But yeah. So I'm just trying to get up within close.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, I basically run up, brandishing my huge tombstone like long plank of a sword, as I rush in next to this guy, basically saying "on your right" as I go for a massive swing. I am in this scenario. Yeah, I'm basically gonna go for an attack, but I'm gonna make this a whirlwind attack.
Okay.
So I'm going to spend a hope, which on a successful attack, I could spend a hope to then to use that roll against every other enemy within very close range.
Okay.
And any additional enemies that I succeed against take half the damage rounded up.
Okay.
So, yeah, I go up. I'm going to roll my to attack.
So you only spend the hope if you hit, presumably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's do this. Okay, so that.
So I'll take away the fear, the hope.
So I don't need. Yeah, I don't need to add a hope because I'm gonna be spending a hope in this scenario. But yeah, I basically rolled a 21.
21 plus.
Yeah. Oh yeah, plus 2. So 22, 24.
Very good.
Yeah, 22, 23. Yeah, sorry, 23. As I swing from the right-hand side of this crew member, swatting, but these does a 23 hit?
Slightly,
enemies?
Yes.
And with that, I'm gonna roll my damage. It's so in this scenario, I need to roll because of my great sword's ability. I need to roll 3 separate d10s and take the highest 2.
Okay.
Okay, so that's 2 5s and the 3, so I'll take the 2 5s plus 3. So that is 13 points of damage to one of them.
Uh-huh.
And then, so 6, 7 points of damage to the other one.
I see. Well, as important as that is, we do have... Just going to move it around slightly. There she is. We now have a functioning cat cam.
You need to lie down. You need to lie down for the internet. Daisy, you need to
Daisy, please. You're embarrassing father. Please. Okay. She'll get it in a sec. Oh no, she's gone. Okay. Right, enough of that. Cool. So describe to me what you do to these 2 poor unfortunate pirates.
So yeah, seeing that it looks like each of these crew members have been outnumbered 2 to 1, and Goru immediately assessing the situation, trying to gain the advantage, will just burst through to the first group of people and coming up to the right of this person saying, "On your right," as the sword itself, hulking as it is, scrapes across the deck and basically in almost a slightly diagonal cleave from right to left, with its far reach, just cleaves against these 2 pirates.
Cutting them down, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the 2 pirates let out screams of panic and fear as you scythe through them. The crewmate alongside you kind of drops to the deck as you swing this slab of a sword round.
And I'll just say to the crew member, "Help someone else, quick!"
The crewmate kind of nods, looking at the bisected pirates in front of him, and just sort of like and
help
kind
that person over there.
scarpers to help his fellow crewmate. Cool. Who's next?
I can hide. That is what I do. I'm a little roguey boy, and I like to hide.
So you can hear that there is combat happening behind you on the observation deck as well.
Oh, there's a combat behind me. My goodness. Creep up the stairs.
Yes.
hide behind this big cog.
Okay, cool. So that's the main mast. But yes, you can see that there is. So Kales is currently coordinating a defense. So you're hiding, is that a stress?
Yes.
Okie dokie.
Give me a stress.
Mark a stress. You are now hidden. Anything else?
Can I attack straight after hiding? It's not like a...
You tell me.
It doesn't say that it's a different...
Does it say, like, as an action, do this?
No. It just says I'm no longer hidden after I move or attack.
In which case, yeah, I would assume.
So
you
can I just hide and then...
Yeah.
I'm hidden. I'm
Yeah.
not. Okay. Fabulous.
Does the hide count as part of your movement?
Rules reading intensifies.
While you're out of sight from all your foes, you can mark a stress to, as usual, to become hidden. Given disadvantage on all rolls against you. As a rogue, when you're hidden, targets can't see you, even if they move into your line of sight. You're no longer hidden after you move or attack, but you leave hidden to make an attack. The roll has advantage.
It sounds like you should just do it then.
Yep. Just do it.
Okay.
Fabulous.
Okay, so you visible.
I will revisit. I am invisible,
Uh-huh.
and then I'll come out, and I'm gonna do a stab. I'm gonna stab this one in the back.
Okay.
So that. And what do I? Going from D&D to bloody Daggerheart. What do I roll again? Just the double dice, isn't it?
Yeah, the double dice, and then adds your
It's nice.
modifier on your weapon.
15, 16, 17.
17. 17 with hope is a hit.
Woohoo!
And damage?
Is Right. That's a 2d8 plus 1. 2d8. Oh, that's 1d8. Another d8. And a d6, because it's a stealth attack. There we go. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
14? Okay.
14, please.
So, describe to me how your sneak attack dispatches both of these pirates.
Both of them. God. As Greg is creeping along, you realise in one fell swoop, he takes off his screwdriver hand that he was wearing, attaches his stealthy knife hand.
Is it the double stealthy knife hand?
And got into one, rips it out into the other.
Okay. So, the two pirates are slain as you pounce on them from the shadows.
Yeah.
Very good, Livy. Who is...
I look over at the orc captain. Oh.
She, like, she doesn't seem... Well, you're hoping for some degree of, like, commendation. But she... Like, her face is twisted into a snarl. And she simply shouts to you, "You're not done yet!" She shouts and, like, points frantically at the other pirates.
Just wipe the sword off.
Who's next? Ruby or Twig?
I can go next.
Yeah.
Ruby is going to... I'm going to move her little bit over here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to aim for these ones on up here.
Okay, yeah. So you can see them scrapping at the top of the stairs.
I am going to use my blah blah blah. I'm going to use my jewel staff to do an attack. I'm also going to add my. I'm going to spend a hope to add my elemental origin to that as well.
Okay.
And I'll add that to my damage if it happens.
Sure. Okay.
Says,
So you only spend it
this,
if you
you're
need
about
it.
to make, then add either +2 to your roll or +3 to the damage. So I guess I get to decide if I haven't quite done as good as I could do, I can add the +2.
Cool. Okay.
Or if not, okay. Boom. Oh, it's not good. I'll add that +2 then.
Okay.
To there, so that's going to make a 10 with fear.
Plus.
So that's +2 with the elemental, and then +2 with the jewel staff. So that actually makes 12.
That's a hit.
Yay!
Okay, so yeah, roll your damage.
2d6. Boom, boom. That is a 13 altogether.
13. Describe to me how your jewel staff attack defeats both pirates.
I think she's going to try and wind up sort of like the usual kind of air darts that she has, but with the added elemental origin on top of that. They're going to just really sort of flip out into like scimitars and just go whacking straight into them.
Okay. In which case, yeah, these two kind of air blade scimitars crisscross around the crewmate, kind of lodging into these two Crimson Cloud pirates, and the two of them are sort of like hoiked up off the deck for a moment and then like launch back a few feet before colliding, sliding, and unaliving. Anything else for Ruby? I don't believe so. Twig?
Hello.
What Twig
Right.
do?
What Twig do? Twig's watching his friends being very, very amazing. He knows that there's two lovely chappies back here to sort out, so he's going to move kind of not too close, because his weapon can be done from within very far range. So I feel like trying to decide if he should attack the ones nearer within very far range ship or the ones closest to him, because it's within very far range.
Okay.
But then Goru could probably jump over the thing.
Blister.
Yeah. So he's So Twig is going to attack the ones near the far at the back near the ship, and he's going to cast Ice Spikes.
Okay.
It's a spellcast roll, so the same as like what he did before. Really, he's going to summon large ice spikes within very far range at these chaps over here. So let's see if it works. So roll. Okay, so that is so it's a 16 with hope.
That is a hit.
It's fantastic. So that is a 2d6. Which is a 7 to hit. 7 damage.
Any pluses to that?
I do not think so, unless I can add. You know, it just says 2d6 damage roll.
Okay.
So I think that's it.
In which case, you notice as these ice. Describe to me how your ice spikes take out one of these pirates.
I think they're basically they kind of feel like those stalactites that fall.
Okay.
So they just kind of like operate above them and then slam down.
Okay.
Them, like state.
In which case, one of the pirates dives out the way. The other one is too slow and is like skewered by the falling ice shards. And yeah, there are the cries of kind of panic and congratulation from the crewmates as the spell lands. Okay, so we've done a full round. Who wants to go next? You rolled with hope, so one more hope for Twig. Whoop.
If people are happy for me to go again, I'll go again.
Yeah.
To take up the next batch.
Oh, beg my pardon. Sorry, I'm going to step in because I didn't realise that Ruby rolled with fear. So.
Oh, yeah.
I will step in now, retroactively. Well, not retroactively. Interesting. I am going to click. Close range of them. So at the far end of the ship, down by you, Greg, I'm going to activate one of these pirates, and you notice that they seem to be operating in pairs. They gang up against the crewmate that they're currently fighting against. They make an attack roll. Roll a 20. So you watch as between the two of them, one of them slashes at at chest height, which causes the crewmate to kind of bring arms up to bring a cutlass up to guard against it, whilst the second one then flat foot kicks the crewmate in the chest and knocks him boom over the edge of the ship, and you hear a beautifully renditioned Wilhelm scream as the crewmate flies off into the distance, as the two ships kind of carry on without them. They then look around, and then spying the two of you, they surge forward to kind of engage with you, Killes, and this crewmate over here. I will then do the same with the two pirates near to Twig. So they gang up on theirs. They also manage to boom, kick off their crewmate. And they split up to engage the two of you separately. Cool. That's 2 that I've used. I will pass initiative back.
Ooh. Does anyone else want to jump in, or should I go?
Nah, go for it.
Okay.
Why are they dying so easy?
They're
Why are
only
they
little
dying?
pirates. Tiny pirates.
Yeah, as this one comes up towards me.
Suspicious.
I was already scraping my sword along, readying this next attack, so I see him coming at me, and I swing to almost bat him against the machinery that's next to us.
Sure.
Basically slice and squash him at the same time. I'll roll. Let's do this. Let me just add my modifier. So that's 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 with hope.
Okay, so a 10 with hope is the pirate kind of rushes towards you, hopping over there's not a large pallet there because that got squished by a wyvern. But as you swing the sword, the pirate leans back and slides across his knees, Kid at a Disco styley, and the sword whooshes over his head before he sort of launches himself back to his feet, and he's now inside your guard.
Brill. All I can do at this moment in time As I've just relayed from the hit, I'm just getting ready for my next hit. But yeah, that's the end of my turn.
Okay. As you missed, I'm going to seize the initiative again. So, Greg, down by you, there are 2 more pirates fighting a crewmate on the edge. They will activate.
Stand near the edge of an airship.
But as they go to attack, the crewmate seems to be valiantly defending against their joint attacks. I will spend 2 fear to send in the next wave.
Me.
Why don't I just go ahead and copy paste? There we go. So more you see from like the mast up ahead. Some of the pirates have been moving up to the mast, and then they begin swinging down to engage people from unexpected angles. So 1 for you, Ruby, 1 for the captain, 2 more land kind of free there. Tell you what, let's throw 1 over there, and then a second drops down to join you, Goru. Cool. I'll pass over initiative.
2, 3. How close is close range again? You have to remind me. All these 3 within close range.
Close is like 5, 10 to 30.
Fabulous. How much hope have I got? A reasonable amount.
You have 5.
Yep. Can I spend 2 hope,
You can.
please?
Are you going to ooze out some daggers?
Blade of Blades!
Okay.
Yes.
Yep. Roll for damage. Oh, sorry, roll to hit. I just
No,
said.
it's just, yeah, it's going to roll to hit. +2. 10 with fear.
10 with fear does not hit. Okay, so as you're kind of taken by, as you go to fire off these this rain of blades.
Blade of Blades!
Yeah, you fire them out, but the pirates seem to have kind of wised up, and they're dodging around a lot more. I'm going to retake the initiative. As following the reinforcements that have just swung in. Behind the captain, a dashing furbolg woman with a tricorn hat, silver eyes, and a polished leaf amulet around her neck swings onto the prow from the pirate ship. As she lands, she bellows, "No one has to die here. No one else needs die here today. Bring me the prisoner and we'll be on our way." And for those of you who can see her, Greg, I think you could just about see her as she came swinging in. We have.
Why she look like?
We have.
Oh, she's got a belly on.
Oh no.
You see a dark-skinned furbolg pirate captain. but you notice, like, possibly the reason why Greg notices her more than anyone else, is because when she swings down onto the deck, she's not, in fact, swinging from one of the rigging ropes like a lot of the other pirates are. She appears to have some sort of wrist-mounted grappling hook.
Greg's in love.
What's going on? What's going on here?
This is the real romance.
I've got one. You've got one.
So she swings in. Upon her arrival, the pirate captain and her pirates surge forward, and she turns to Commander Kane, who, Twig and Ruby, you notice, sort of like draws a wand to point at her before the pirate he's fighting in throws a weighted net over the captain, and his arm kind of twists round himself and he collapses to the ground under the weight of this net. Enraged, the captain calls to you all and shouts to you, "Do not let her get to the brig!" he shouts. And Twig, you watch as this furball captain does a little curtsy and disappears through the doors into the ship. I will pass the initiative.
I want to follow her. I really want to follow her. I think Twig.
To the ends of the earth, I will follow that woman.
I mean, I am, is the pirate next to me about to attack me if I try to leave? Or can I just follow her because he's like, "Oh, boss is here." What's the vibe of the man who's about to hit me? Because if he's going to hit me, I'm going to have to deal with him first.
Yeah, the pirate is treating you as if you are a crewmate.
Okay, well, in that case...
is engaged in fisticuffs.
If he wants to engage in fisticuffs, I'm going to play dirty.
Okay.
Out of sheer panic, because that's all Twig is. He is made of panic. He is going to cast Power Push and push the man in panic off the side. So Power Push is a spellcraft.
That won't hold up in a court of law.
I know. Oh, Twig. So basically, if I succeed, I can push him to far range. So out of panic, he is going to push him probably off. To be fair, they've been pushing everyone else off, so it does feel like, so I'm going to roll and see what happens.
Okay.
And then I get a +2 on that, so that's 15 with hope.
15 with hope. Hits.
Okay.
So you push him to fire.
Yep, push him to far. So almost out of panic, he tries to attack me, and I just pick him off like that, and then I fucking bolt to the door to follow.
Okay. So you force push this captain who launches off the side of the ship, and then because the ships are still going forward at pace, you then see him ragdoll off the side, one of the side masts, as the ship kind of catches up with him, and you just see him boom. Proper Skyrim ragdoll into oblivion.
Yeah, and then I start to follow.
Okay.
What's her face to the brig.
Okie dokie.
That's the end of my.
Very, very good. So that is one for you. Who's next?
I can go next.
Go, Ruby, go.
Go,
this guy off my butt with I'm gonna just sort of go around him very quickly around there, and I'm gonna just give him a thwack with my dual staff, using sort of like a propulsion of air to really sort of get it into his gut.
Yeah.
Bob-bomb. Ooh.
Ooh.
Is a.
That's a big hit.
That is a 23, 24, 25 with hope.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That'll go straight through his gut.
7 plus 3, that is a 10 damage.
Okay. The blast is powerful enough that it fires him back and he bounces off the side of this defense ballista, and also disappears into the night sky.
Whee!
Oh.
That's me done.
Okie
You gonna
dokie.
move after the captain, or?
You go. Yeah, I'll see Twig. I'll see Twig sort of making a run for it, and Ruby will follow him.
Okay. So the two of you I have headed inside. That'll be enough for now. Who's next?
Me?
Yeah.
I think I'm due next, maybe?
Yeah.
So, hearing the captain's words, would this be encouraging enough for me to be able to use my experience? I'll have your back. In spur of this, like the captain's words, Goru feeling he wants to protect the ship and at all costs, and the crew, could I spend a hope to use that experience?
Sure.
In which case,
Down to 3.
yeah, down to 3.
Who used? So hang on, just double check. You always have to spend a hope to use an experience, don't you?
Yeah.
So I think Ruby, you would have gained a hope from your roll, but I'm going to deduct a hope from your sick party tricks from earlier.
Okay. Fair enough.
And with that, I'm going to make my attack as I swing my blade. Let's do this. Oh, sweet. So that
your hope.
That's with hope, so I gain my hope back.
Back up to 4.
And that's with the +4 on top of that. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
You might
8,
miss.
9, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 25 to hit.
Yep.
And
it.
I will. That hope that I gained, I'm going to spend to do a whirlwind attack, unless if you're saying the mechanics of the rules that we're doing in these.
You do what you want to do, Dan.
I'm going to stick to what Goru would do, is a whirlwind attack when there's 2 enemies. So I will stick to the shtick and spend a hope, and cleave these guys, hoping that the cleave is so strong that it just sends them off the boat.
Yeah.
That's the aim. So damage wise, I need to roll my 3d10s. Is that the d10? Yeah. Oh, come on. There we go. So 12 plus 3. So that's 15 points of damage, physical damage, as I cleave. So that's 15 points to the first one, and then half rounded up makes it
7, 8.
8. Yeah, 8.
Okay.
Damage to the second one.
In which case, you catch the first one with the flat of the blade, and like a scoop, you gather the 2 of them up and yeet them off the ship, like high enough that the ship disappears from underneath them, and they are lost to the nothingness of a very long drop.
With that, seeing that with my movement, I can see there's 2 crew members on one guy over to the east of the map. So I'm going to actually move over to where the captain is, where there's a guy. Just because the captain needs backup as well if he's under a net.
Okay, sounds good. In which case, who's next? Greg. I think you're up.
Where did she go down into the brick?
So she disappeared through the main
main
door.
thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start making my way that way. These guys can hold their own. Whatever. How far can I get?
So you'll be able to get to the door. Yeah, if you move
Not
to
go
there,
down
you get to the door.
Move.
So I'll move you.
Rigorous.
Where
Where am I going?
you go. Okay, so you can go to the door. I
don't want to go through the door.
Well, too late. You've gone through the door.
I wanted to talk to the man.
Oh, okay. Okay, we'll let you talk to the man.
Before I go down, I want to say to Commander Kane, "You twat." No.
You slag.
I want to say, you didn't say nothing about no prisoner. Where are they then? If that's where she's heading, tell me where she is and I can go bloody get her.
The captain who's currently trying to fend off this pirate that's trying to wail on him with a cudgel. Frantically defending himself as best he can, and then he just shouts, "Just stop her!" He bellows.
All right, keep your hair on. All right, good, I'm doing it.
Okay. So you go through the door. Is there a dash? A dash alternative? A dash thingy?
Is there
PC
a
Dan,
dash?
we require your encyclopedic knowledge of Daggerheart.
What was that? Sorry,
Is there a Daggerheart
Can I
version of dash?
If I'm not going to attack, can you do a dash?
What happens is if you're moving beyond so you got very close. So close is up to 30 feet, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you go beyond close within your movement, you would need to make an agility roll. To the DM's, I think the DM's discretion.
I've got a difficulty. So.
Or, sometimes it may not need an agility roll, but yeah, basically moving far or without an action.
That's fine. You can absolutely use the agility to dash. I do have a difficulty for the ship. So this will involve moving through the tight corridors, going over the clutter and so on and so forth.
So can I try for a dashing? Can I see if I can catch up?
Yeah, go for an agility roll.
Yeah, on a failure, you might only be able to move some of that distance. The adversaries might act before you can make it, or something might prevent you from moving at all.
Okay.
21, 22, 23. 23 with fear.
23 with fear. So that will be enough. Absolutely will be enough. Let me just scroll back to you. There you are. So yeah, absolutely enough. So there's a crewmate that's currently out of action, kind of on the floor. Looks like he was trying to stop that, defend that stairwell, but he has been KO'd. But you can move like another 30 feet fundamentally.
Do we know where? Yeah, can you?
I guess just keep going.
Down. Oh.
Hang on.
What?
Why is that not working? There you go. Right.
I get confused with the stairs. There we go.
So he's out of commission. Right, bear with me 2 secs. Cool. So where are you two? So yeah, Greg, you're able to dash to the stairs. Where are you heading now?
Is Twig with me?
Yeah, I'm with you.
Shout to Twig. Which way did you go? Which way did you go?
DM, which way did she go? Because I was trying to get after her pretty quickly. So I'm assuming she's heading towards the engine room.
well, you've heard. So yeah, the path of destruction that has been left in her wake. Like you can see that there's a crewmate out of action on the floor there with like a cutlass rake across his chest. Give me a knowledge or what was effectively like a perception check.
Sure. Well, perception check would be instinct, wouldn't it?
I believe so.
Or so knowledge would be
perception,
recall,
instinct.
analyze, or comprehend. Instinct would be perceive, sense, or navigate. So it would be
Perceive,
an instinct roll, right? Cool. Okay. And then it'd be a +1 for instinct. So you're looking at 10. 10 with
Okay.
hope.
So based on so there's a so your 6th hope in the kitty. So yeah, it looks like she's gone, like following the trail of devastation. It looks like she's gone down this staircase to your left.
Cool. In that case, I'll tell, I'll say to Greg, this way, and we'll head towards this staircase.
Okay. So I'll mark that as an initiative. Going down the staircase, unless you're rolling an agility, will be pretty much it for your turn now. These two KO'd. Who's going next out of Ruby and Goru?
I think Ruby, you're next. If you want to go,
I'm happy to go next.
go for it.
Where am I? I am still.
You are here.
Yeah. So I like to think from where Ruby is that she's heard like Greg and Twig sort of shouting,
Mm-hmm.
and so she's gonna follow them sort of
Okay.
down into the.
Sure. I mean, if you're kind of moving after the two of them, you'll effectively, like, you'll hear them, you'll see them as they're ahead of you. And yeah, so they've gone down the staircase to the north.
They've gone down the staircase. Okay, so I'm gonna go as far as I can. How much further can I go?
You could get to the bottom of the next staircase,
Okay.
unless you want a agility.
Yeah, if you want to risk doing a agility roll to try and go from past close to go far, very far, then you need to make an agility roll.
Let's make an agility roll then.
If you want to get further.
Over.
Okay. Well, yeah.
I've got.
And that goes for the rest of you. If any of you want to do an agility roll as you go sprinting off through the ship.
Let's do this. Doom. Oh, it's not good.
Oh no.
It's a 7 with fear.
7 with fear. You are unable to kind of navigate through the ship with any kind of greater speed. So you kind of like, because the stair, if nothing else, the stairs are quite steep. So as you try to gain speed, there's a little bit of a dunk as you hit your head on like the low ceiling.
Oh, really little.
It's that mushroom cap.
Yeah.
Okay. As you have rolled with fear, I will interject.
Has any of the like the crew on our side been able to do anything?
They are fighting their best fight currently.
Which means no.
They are defending. Cool. So the three of you that are downstairs, you can see that there are two. Like, this is an area that has been kind of cordoned off. No, sorry, this area hasn't been cordoned off because there's passengers on here. So you can hear like the sounds of like screams and cries of panic from passengers in various rooms to like either side down this long corridor. that stretches out in front of you. You notice that there's what appears to be like a sparring square with two KO'd crewmates, or out of action crewmates I should say. You haven't got a chance to check to see whether they're dead or alive, but further down you see that there are another two that have been taken out of action. One appears to be guarding a stairway, and opposite him is another stairway down further into the ship. You can hear sort of like cries of like raised voices coming from below. I'm going to flick up to Goru, and the pirate that you are attempting to sneak up on hears you coming and rolls a 1. Like, yeah, turns to look to you and like expecting to see like another like twig or another ruby, just kind of stops and like is gazing at somewhere on your chest bone, and then just looks up and like lifts his hands up and parlay, he says. I'm going to hand over the initiative. I rolled 1.
I guess that'll make my turn next.
Yeah.
Does he look like he's giving up, or does he look like
he's currently
kind of
like, yeah, he's got a cudgel in his hand. He's got like one hand up, and he's just like parlay, because he's looked at your blood slicked sword, and like you're dwarfing him.
Can I knock him out?
Sure. Roll them bones.
Yeah, I'm gonna just try and see if I can just knock him out. Nothing too special. What's my bonus? It's +2. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 16 with fear.
Okay. So I will take the fear token, but I will not take the initiative. That is a hit. Roll for damage.
Yep. That is, let me just do my thing. So that is +3. So 17 points of damage as I get the butt of the sword and just dosh.
Okay. This guy just like folds at the waist backwards and just collapses to the ground.
Yeah, if there's any way, I don't know if it's going to be like an action type thing, or if there's like a free interact with objects type thing like there is in D&D, but I want to get that net off of Captain if possible.
No, you can absolutely reach down, and like it's heavy, but with your strength you're able to just rip this net clear off of Commander Kane, and you toss it to the side and it boom, lands in a thud. Like the large kind of weights on its corners and edges just boom, smashing it to the deck.
I'll just say, help your crew, Captain.
The captain looks at you somewhat wild-eyed. And
King bloody sword Goru.
Yeah, he looks to you and have they caught her? Have they caught her? He shouts.
Friends are on it. Save your crew.
The captain looks to you, and there's suddenly this single-mindedness in his eye as he surges to his feet and bolts for the door to follow the rest of them.
You don't care about your crew.
Don't care
It's
about
about
his
his
crew.
engine.
Would you like to move?
Oh yeah, I can move. Thing is, I trust in my friends to do the job, so I'm gonna help the crew.
Okay.
And I'm gonna move up the stairs.
Sure. Okay. So, in which case, as you go plodding up the stairs, or you surging up the stairs, I suppose, really. We will flick back to the smalls downstairs. I'll do you all collectively. Are you carrying on, like, the chase for the pirate captain?
Yes.
Okay. In which case, if I could have you enter through one of these stairs either side of this area here, please. I will patiently await your arrival.
So any of these stairs? Does it matter?
Yeah, either or. And as you go down the stairs, you hear you hear the tail end of what appears to be some sort of argument. You cannot go in there. Twig, you hear the telltale sound of Melandra's voice. She shouts, and you watch as she is booted through a door at the end of this corridor and sprawls out on the ground as his pirate captain surges in after her.
I go to follow. Yeah, I'm very concerned, very panicked. I'm heading over there, probably
Okay.
calling out. Yeah.
So, as and the rest of you following suit.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Ooh.
Before you, let me just zoom in. Before you is a strange magical contraption with tubes and crystals and a small weather vane connected to a freestanding iron cell. An exhausted and obviously malnourished Galapa stands in the cell, blocking the pirate captain from reach. I can't read. Stands in the cell with silver cords wrapped around their head, waist, and limbs. Melandra looks up from in front of the cell, blocking the pirate captain from reaching either the contraption or the cell itself. The pirate captain threatens Melandra with a drawn cutlass, the artificer frozen with fear. The distraught Galapa looks to you as the three of you burst in and cries out, "Please, help my captain and get me out of this horrible thing!" And as you see this, we'll call it there.
Oh boy.
Oh,
It's people.
boy.
It's Soylent Green is people.
So,
Told you he was a twat. I told you he was a twat. I mean,
Did the king of the royal capital like agree to this? Like,
I think nobody knows about this engine. I feel this is
Probably
just a
the-
memento.
the establishment.
so with all of that in mind, yes, we will call that session to an end there. If you enjoyed that, make sure to hit the like button and the comment below.
Who this guy?
Yeah,
Okay.
comment below on whether or not what should the comments be, everyone? What should the comments be on?
it should be.
Who's
we-
the real bad man?
How we twat the
Yeah.
captain.
Who's the real bad man?
I guess the
Captain.
thing I am most concerned about is if we release the Galapa, which is obviously what we all intend to do, does the ship then descend
Yeah,
and we
just
all die?
plummets.
So like,
just like, sorry.
how much magically does releasing the Galapa mean that we are all dead?
Sure.
Like, so
True.
that's going to be
Yes,
Twig's logical concern.
that's true.
He obviously wants to release the Galapa. He is not. This is against.
That
all
sounds
of the
a
code.
little bit greater good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we do need you to power our engine, so I guess we'll just leave you
It's a
with
bit difficult. Yes.
Well, yeah, comment down below on your feelings about this development and who you think is the bad man. And if if you yeah, if you've been watching live, thank you very, very much. If you're watching this after the fact, there will be the next half will be coming out in a week's time, next Saturday. So make sure to tune in, and then you can watch the finale of this the Thursday after that, which will be the quick maths 18th. July the 18th. If you want to see more stuff like this, or some Blades in the Dark action, or some like D&D stuff, or just any of the other stuff that we're running on the channel at the moment, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon for notifications of when we release new content, because that comes out very frequently and we wouldn't want you to miss out, because it's all good. It's all good.
What if we killed a load of niceys?
Well, we'll figure that out in a bit, won't we? So, thank you all for playing, the four of you. Thank you all for watching. And we'll see you next time.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye bye bye.